Here we go. Good afternoon, Bob.
Good afternoon, Tom. Or morning for me. Good morning.
I guess it'd be morning where you are.
Yes, there we are, along these different time zones. But it still doesn't really take off the fact that we decided to start off today's broadcast with the, let's call it the Bah Humbug.
Bah Humbug edition.
Where is Alistair Sims when you need him anyway?
Well,
or George C. Scott.
Yeah, a lot of different guys did the Bah Humbug.
Yeah.
Well,
and now it's you and me.
Yeah, now it's you and me. Exactly. Yeah. So what part of the Bah or the hum should we start with?
Well, once again, we can go Canadian-centric and talk about the messed up government that we have that is caught well in the eddy of despair and circling and going down, but nobody seems to want to stop it. Or we could look at the global pictures and think what's going to really happen with Syria falling, and where's that going, and will these people actually who have lived in Canada, the United States, Britain, France, Germany for so many years decide that maybe it's a good idea we should leave here and go back to our own country? It's hard to say.
Wow. Well, let's talk about the recent departure of one of the key players in Canadian politics.
Yeah.
Sean Fraser. No, not Sean Fraser. The other one, Christopher Freeland.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, sorry. They both left the same day. I'm trying to figure out which was the more important of the two.
Well, I saw an analogy on that from an op-ed, and I forget which paper it was. He said that with those two leaving and the fact that the Prime Minister's party was soundly beaten, is that a good word? I don't know. Anyway, whatever it is, on the recent by-election out here in BC, you can bring in people, or you can try and bring in people like Mark Carney and the like. But I guess the question you have to ask them is do you want to be on the Titanic? And if you really do, you also have to know that not only is the ship going to sink, but it's full of bubonic plague.
Wow.
You know, this is not a good place to be at the present time, I don't think. And they don't really, again, gaslighting, buy us off with their own money. They're $22 billion over their guesstimate of where we were going to be and how we're going to end up being. It's
yes. Well, I love the euphemisms that were talked about in the media that in the budget they had guardrails in their toolbox.
Ooh.
That was, maybe the tools ran into the guardrails. I don't know, but the long and the short of it is that we are going to find out real soon if the bond rating agencies are going to continue to give us a AAA rating. The dollar went below 70 cents right away with this nonsense, and I think the business of the exchange rate, not the exchange rates, I'm sorry, the interest rates are unlikely to be falling any more soon, because if you reduce the interest rate, which of course induces inflation anyway, you're going to find yourself in serious trouble with the consumers, because you can do this gimmicky stuff with the HST GST rebate, but that's not going to help you when your grocery prices are going to go up significantly, since the actual value of your currency to buy those things from the wholesaler, which in this case will be in the United States in US dollars, particularly in the winter months, you're going to see your grocery bills go up. This is not going to help you a whole lot. This was just the stupidest thing, most juvenile thing I think that this government has done in a long time. On top of which, you deliver a so-called economic statement by basically handing over a big pile of papers to the House leader and then walking away. There's no debate. There's no discussion. There you go. What country does that? Like, what the hell is happening?
Yeah. I guess it'll really not hit home until the average Canadian realizes that they have to take a wheelbarrow full of $100 bills to buy the loaf of bread. But by then it's almost too late.
Well, by then it is too late. We're exaggerating to some extent, but the fact is that our economic fiscal house is in terrible shape, and it's run by morons. I'm sorry, they're incompetent dipwads that have completely screwed up a once prosperous, functioning country over the space of almost a decade. These people are vandals, they're bandits, and then Canadians have allowed this to happen. And then there's some of them are getting all twisted out of shape because our American neighbors who kind of woken up from their slumber have a guy who's poking fun at how stupid and juvenile this government is, and they get all patriotic. Oh, they
got to be part of Team Canada.
Yeah. Well,
I guess that also comes into the realm now of lack of intelligence, lack of understanding, lack of awareness, and this goes to the Canadian population as well as the Canadian government at this point, is that we've been told by our American cousins that we have to do something about the border. Yes. So our people have jumped on that, and I understand that in the massive amounts of paper that were released yesterday on the economic update, they're just going to put $1.3 billion into border security, which sounds like a wonderful thing, but we really don't know, one, where it's going other than maybe a few helicopters, a few drones. But in Canada, and I guess in a lot of places around the Western world, people are not flocking to go to law enforcement jobs anymore. They don't want them. But we are missing the big fact here of we don't really know what it is we want to do, when in reality, I think what the Americans are saying is you have no control over who's coming into your country. And we want that addressed. We don't want you to stop people from leaving our country to go into your country. We want you to stop people coming into your country so they don't come to our country.
Correct. That's the elephant, if not a herd of elephants in the room. Mm-hmm. It's those who are arriving at the airports of Canada from far and wide, who are poorly vetted and miraculously show up on the watch lists of the Americans. And here's where you have to really question this $1.5 billion. Having a helicopter flying around the 49th parallel isn't going to solve that problem. You have to deal with it at a much more systemic level, which is the harmonization of a visa policy, of a security vetting policy, of a foreign policy, in fact, on those parts of the foreign policy that impact on refugee determination, selection. Mm-hmm. Like, this is a much bigger kettle of fish than just worrying about a couple of helicopters and some bogus machinery that is being set up. In fact, in Alberta, as an example, like why would the province be involved in dealing with this? It's not their purview. It's not their responsibility. I mean, hats off to them trying to garner support from the American administration. But Alberta is a province. It's no more than North Dakota deciding they're going to set up some sort of border program. That's not their job. Mm-hmm. So where this goes is very opaque. And frankly, the media has been pretty amateurish about taking it apart in terms of what exactly does it mean. I think we've done more here in 5 minutes than the mainstream media in Canada has done for the last couple of days on this issue. They are completely oblivious to the reality of what the problem is.
Yeah.
So, you know, we have 30 days or so before the American threat of tariffs goes into play here. And frankly, I don't see any real chance for us to address that in a meaningful way with a couple of helicopters and drones. That's not
No.
you know, and I'm quite sure that the folks who are surrounding President-elect Trump know this as well. That you know, this kind of childish behavior. I mean, can you imagine you know, how this must look with these hawks down there watching the shenanigans that went on yesterday in the House of Commons, thinking, who are these people? Well, can you take them seriously? You know, they act like their national budget is some sort of crap game that someone is losing, picks up the dice and goes home. It really was silly.
Whoops.
Oh, somebody's called. I shouldn't have said crap game.
But I guess the other side. Oh, gee. I have no idea who that is, but we could be in trouble.
Oh, well.
We were talking a bit about that in pre-production. You know, even if we woke up and got serious and put a lot of money to where it's supposed to be, i.e. overseas, to stop these people from getting on airplanes to come here in the first place, or to put a lot of money into, well, you come here, you landed here, we now have to know who you are, where you are. And this goes back to when I did my overseas tour in Hong Kong. And this was in the late 80s. They still had people in detention who were boat people from Vietnam. So that's people that have been in, you know, basically incarcerated for 15, 20 years or more.
Right.
But the problem is that even if we did realize that and we did turn off the tap, it is not an instantaneous reaction. There is still residual things that have to work through the system.
It would take literally years of negotiation and harmonization to meet the priorities of both countries, unless you do it in a much more revolutionary way, which I'm not suggesting we do. But if we sit around and baffle gab and gaslight our neighbors on this one with a couple of helicopters and some bogus plan run by jurisdictions that have no business doing it in the first instance. And again, no reflection on Alberta's attempts to do something here. It's just not your place to do it. But it requires a leadership at the federal level, which we sadly are lacking at the moment. But time is not on Canada's side on this one. I'm serious. You know, we're focusing today on this one issue because every other issue would be a very negative broadcast for our last broadcast before Christmas. So let's just see what we do with the chaos that's currently evolving in Ottawa around the leadership and how that impacts on our relationship with, you know, our pals to the south.
Well, there's that, yeah. And you know, we unfortunately have a I can't really say leader. We have a prime minister at the current time who has done just about everything that his father has done in one form or one sense or another, actions, words. And unfortunately, with global warming, there isn't a lot of snow that this kid can go out and take a walk in and decide that enough is enough and I'm going to retire.
Now that's That's a stretch, that one. I like it. Maybe if he cut the taxes, it'd be more snow.
Well, maybe. You never know. But
well, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, in that little diatribe, we hit just about all the things that are making it a bah humbug edition.
It is the bah humbug edition. Well, look, let's agree to wish our readers, our listeners, our viewers a better 2025 than 2024 was.
Yes.
That we come up with a positive approach to some of these very negative issues that are facing us today, next year. And that over the next number of weeks, let's all try and be merry and happy and work towards peace and goodwill to men in 2025.
Absolutely, yeah. And, not to quote the famous Miss America contestants, let us have world peace. Let's strive for world peace. I can tell that's kind of gone over your head.
No, it's a revolutionary. That's a very revolutionary idea that you're proposing. You mean stop killing each other and
what a novel thought.
What a concept. What a concept.
Yeah.
Well, this is one of those editions we'll come back refreshed and renewed next year.
I think we will. We'll go through this holiday season and hopefully with family and friends close by and sharing of gifts and spirits and etc. Maybe we'll wake up on the right side of the bed and things will be much better.
Let's hope. Let's hope. Listen to our viewers, readers. Don't forget to hit the bell, to subscribe, the like button. If you feel so inclined to support us, let us know. You can always contact us at borderpol@borderpol.org. And like I say, we're going to take a couple of weeks off now, obviously for the holiday season, but we'll be coming back refreshed and renewed in the new year.
Yeah.
And it'll be interesting. Didn't the Chinese have that saying? May
you live in interesting times.
Yes.
Well, we've certainly been doing that for the last couple of years.
Yeah, although I'm not sure I don't think that was done in a positive way. So let's just say we want to see everybody healthy, happy, and prosperous for next year.
Yes. As I say, it's one of those double entendres. May you live in interesting times, right? And we are certainly doing our best to look at it in the positive sense.
We will. That'll be our New Year's resolution, right, Bob?
And maybe we'll do it way better in 2025 than we did in 2024.
Indeed. So that's it for season 3, episode 35. We'll see you folks in the new year.
Absolutely. And in the meantime, may Santa find your house and give you the gifts that you want.
Okay. I don't have a chimney, though.
He's a magic guy. He'll make. Didn't you ever watch the Santa Claus?
I'll have to pull out that DVD.
Yeah.
All right, Bob. You all take care now.
You too. Have fun.
Yep. Bye.